You ever notice how your narcissist treats you versus how they treat others? A lot of this has to do with them obtaining the narcissistic supply. One of the things to remember is that narcissists and some cluster B personality types, they are very crafty with emotional blackmail, emotional manipulation, and also how to get you to feel and think and even behave a certain way so they can get the narcissistic supply. This is called grooming. So while you're in a relationship with him or her, you're being groomed, and you are so accustomed to it at times that you really don't notice it. Unconsciously, you're accommodating him or her. Now, I've gone through this myself. I've lived with cluster B personality types. Okay, so I know what it feels like to feel boxed in or alienated or feeling like there's no way out. So sometimes feeling of sadness, hopelessness, and despondency can come about. But one of the things that you have to be focused on is how you want to get out of the situation. This is not going to be easy because sometimes you will be distracted. I've been distracted. If it's not one form of drama, it's another. It's conflict. All of these monkey wrenches are thrown into your space in order to keep you off balance. All of this is by grand design. Sometimes it's conscious on the cluster B personality type's part. Sometimes it's not. Because a lot of the times they will reenact something that's unresolved. It can be their childhood, something that happened in their childhood. Sometimes it can be something that happened last week, but it goes unresolved. The narcissists and some cluster B personality types, what they're notorious for is for projecting their perspective of their reality on others. This is what projection is all about. The things, for example, the things I may not want to deal with. It can be something that happened at the job last week. I may come home, you may be cooking, you may be cleaning up, or you may be just, chilling. And I decide that I'm going to take that out on you. I am perceiving my reality a particular way. And I am projecting that onto you. I'm trying to sell it to you. If you agree, then you may start to feel angry. You may be agitated. You may become frustrated because I'm argumentative. I'm adversarial. I'm treating you like we're in opposition, when all the while I'm still thinking about what happened last week on the job. So when the narcissist and cluster B personality type, they start projecting onto you or anyone else, right? They're trying to sell you their perspective of their reality. Sometimes that can be certain things that they don't like about themselves, but they took it out of their consciousness. You're available. Therefore, unconsciously, sometimes you may accommodate him or her simply because you're available for them to take things out on. They're selling you their perspective of their reality. This is something that's so easy to forget, especially in the heat of the moment when there's arguments, there's drama, there's conflict. It's very easy to lose sight of why you're having the relationship. This could be a love relationship. This could be a romantic relationship. This could be a marriage, or this could be a family, situation. It's very easy to lose sight of what the relationship is all about. What is the purpose of the relationship? This is why a lot of us, myself included, I no longer have this issue, or not so much, but I used to have that issue, and that is not being able to answer that question. What is the purpose of the relationship? This goes right on into clarifying intentions. What do I tend to manifest by having the relationship with this person or these individuals? What do I want to manifest? It's very easy to lose sight of all of that, especially when emotionally stressed. Now, my health used to be in real trouble. I'm healthier today than I've ever been. My finances suffered. There were times that when I was attempting to focus on particular projects, I wasn't able to focus on it This is called brain fog. Please look that up. Please do your research on that. Okay, this is something that a lot of people who have been diagnosed with PTSD do experience. Okay, because that means that they're not able to focus on those unresolved issues. Our subconscious mind will put away things that are too painful for us to deal with. I wouldn't suggest, opening that door. The things that you cannot remember is because one of the reasons why you can't remember it is because it's probably too painful. So I wouldn't suggest forcing that. But the bottom line is this: when you are in a narcissistic codependent relationship and you're dealing with all types of shenanigans that's being pulled by your narcissist, you're dealing with every time they engage in diabolical tactics, the aftermath of it, you have to realize, okay, this is something that I've learned. There's energy behind the words. There's energy behind those actions. Every time they pull something and you're bombarded with it, this is why it's very easy to lose sight of how to come up out of that situation. Okay, some of us, we have been in those situations where we've dealt with somebody who was very difficult to deal with. All right, this is very threatening. Some people can end up traumatized behind something like that because they're afraid of the person. This is causing anxiety. Sometimes there's social anxiety because a person has been alienated from the first group in their life, and that's their family. Certain things have gone on within that family, whereas maybe they were scapegoated. So when they become accustomed to that, that can bring on social anxiety, because that means when they go out amongst other groups on the planet, they tend to play the same dysfunctional roles over and over. Because that particular group, it can be at work, it could be at school, it could be anywhere on the planet they may go. But when they are in a group of people, seems like they continue to play the same role. Scapegoat. Okay, that group tends to treat that person, it could be you, it could be me, it could be anyone, okay, that's had that type of experience from the first group, which is their family. All right, so they can be experiencing this repeatedly. And all of this is because they're accustomed to it. So it becomes a habit. And this is something that we can look for unconsciously. This is another way that we unconsciously serve people who don't serve us. I say sometimes when you step back and you look at the team that you're on and you're rooting for that team and you're playing your part and you're doing everything so everybody in that team can win, but that team doesn't seem to support you, that team doesn't seem to be for you, it's time to get another team. When it comes to family, narcissistic families, this is not very easy to see that you just need to get another team. We don't pick our family, okay? So I'm not suggesting to discard your family. Whereas it pertains to narcissistic family, or families where there's a cluster of personality types or types, you have to sometimes look at, are you on the team that's for you? It's very hard to see that, because then we're talking about loving people, caring for them, yet we're not getting our needs met. We're not getting we're not getting the things that we want out of the relationship. So it tends to be a poor investment. When a person becomes an adult, they have more freedom to choose whether or not they want to be a part of this group or that group, whether it's family or not. It's very easy to forget this though, especially when a person becomes accustomed to being treated a particular way. We're creatures of habit. We tend to gravitate towards what we're familiar with, whether it is good or bad, whether it's positive or negative, thumbs up, thumbs down. But the bottom line is this: we tend to gravitate towards what we know. Okay, so when it comes to codependent narcissistic relationships, narcissistic codependent relationships, right? Same thing, same difference. When it comes to that, this is something that's very familiar to a lot of us. So we tend to seek that out, whether it's on the job, whether it's at home, okay? Whether it's from one relationship to the next, we tend to seek it out. So when narcissists and cluster B personality types get to working on the mind and the heart and the consciousness of us and whomever else they may target for narcissistic supply, see, they tend to have a pretty good radar for who would make a prime source supplier, okay, or who's prime for source supply versus those who may not be willing or able to give them the supply that they're looking for. Sometimes when we tell ourselves that we love and care about the cluster B personality type, such as a narcissist, it's very easy to get caught up into that, because number one, it's a habit. Number two, we've been groomed to think and feel and behave the way that the narcissist would like for us to think, feel, and behave. There are times that I would journal and I would go back and I would read something that I wrote maybe 6 months ago, or maybe a year ago, or maybe even 5 years ago. I would look at that and I would be shocked to find that some of the things that I was doing in the narcissistic codependent relationship, first of all, was to please the cluster personality type that I was dealing with at the time. Okay? And secondly, that it really wasn't my idea. It seemed like it was my idea. In other words, I was being groomed to behave, to think, and to feel a particular way that would please him or her, right? But I digress. My overall point is that when we're dealing with narcissistic codependent relationships, it is very easy to get caught up. And it's very easy to look around and want other people to give us a quick answer, a quick fix, an easy answer. So I'm here to tell you from experience, that's not the best way to go. It's very easy to want people to give you the answers, but it's usually not going to help you in the long run. See, we got to grow. We got to get to that point where we can see our way out. Sure, it's very uncomfortable to go through it. I've been there, where it's like, okay, every time I come home, I got to hear it. Every time I go around it, every time I come around that person, there's the insults, there's the put downs. It's kind of like they're keeping me at an arm's length, yet they still want to keep me around in order to extract what they want from me. That's an awful feeling. Been there, done that. Okay? So I get how it is so easy to just want the answers like yesterday on how to get out of this situation. But again, I'm here to tell you all, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to do it. Because we are all here on a journey. We all have a story. Your life has purpose. My life has purpose. We don't get to dictate our realities. And I know sometimes we can have a thing called parallel reality. That is, whereas, the narcissist and the cluster B personality type are telling themselves that they are so caring, kind, and they're all that and they're good, yet you feel terrible because your experience with them leaves you feeling drained. You're in despondency, you're angry, you're feeling some kind of way. You feel like they're not the best influence for you, but yet when you try to tell them how you're feeling and what your experiences are in that relationship with him or her, they put up a wall. They shut down and they try to shut you down. They try to shut you out, yet they still want you around so they can get that narcissistic supply. So I'm here to tell you that I understand how it is so easy to want to just get out of that situation and you think that everybody else has the answers except you. No, you do have the answers. You're the one experiencing that ordeal. Okay, so you're learning, and it's very easy to not be able to see that. Because of all of the shenanigans, all of the diabolical tactics, all of that drama, all of the chaos, all of that is designed, by the way, to keep you off your square, to keep you off balance, to reduce your vision. Your visibility is greatly reduced when you're focused on what the narcissist wants. You know, it's very uncomfortable, and guess what? It's supposed to be. That narcissistic codependent relationship is highly addictive. So when you start withdrawing or feeling those withdrawal symptoms, which been there, done that too, very easy to want the relief. You just don't want those withdrawal symptoms. You don't want to feel that. But I'm here to tell you, that's one of the things that's going to sober you up and get you to realize that you're in a situation that's really not very good for you. It's not in alignment to the purpose of why you're here.